Good morning, professional photographers of Idaho and beyond. I am Bob Ryder.
I'm Kim Minter.
Hi, I'm Larry. How you doing?
Just Larry.
Just Larry today.
Just Larry.
He's just Larry.
It's too hot for the last names today.
Yeah, it takes too much time or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Too much energy.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
Great day.
I say good day.
Anytime I'm on top of the dirt, it's a good day.
That's right, and I've worked hard to stay there, so there you go, there's that. Listen, good morning, and we've got a great topic for you today called Shots Fired. We're going to break down the idea that a shot never taken is always a miss. And we've got some great anecdotes, some great stories to back that up. And first, though, as we get people coming on to view, you know what, I'll play this. Let's watch this. Let's go. I didn't play the bump-a-bum. That's because it's not on. Oh, there you go. Let's try it again. Let's hit show. We're back. I'm trying to do a thing. Give me a second. I got this. There we go. Now I can do that. See, now I'm trying to talk
Hi, Laquita.
and run the live. Good morning, Laquita. I can
that's
always.
beautiful.
She is beautiful.
I know she is.
Yeah, and you know her dogs. Have you met her dogs?
No.
Oh my
I've
gosh.
seen them on Instagram or whatever.
Everywhere.
Facebook. Yeah. I haven't met them personally.
They're fun and just fun. So great topic today, and I think we've all got something that we can share from that, from the idea that if you didn't try, it didn't succeed. Period. Right.
Period.
I
Yeah.
tell a story about shooting a concert at a winery with a peer of mine from the newspaper industry, and we're both shooting, and then he shuts down. We were talking about ISO a few weeks back, and I was still shooting, and he's like, how are you still taking pictures? I'm like, I just bumped my ISO, and he literally had put his camera in the bag. I'm like, well, he says, aren't they going to be noisy? Yes, they're going to be noisy. But they're 100% better than the shots that aren't being taken because your camera's in the bag. So anyway, that was kind of my foundation for this concept, and then we're going to work this through marketing, we're going to work it through your branding and your bidding, how you're taking money, and all of those things, right? So I've got, when it comes to the bidding, I want to talk about, I've got some, wow, crash and burn, right?
Easy
Look
does
at that.
Big guy.
Right, right.
Bob's over here tearing up the set.
Yeah, it's all right. It's my stuff. So anyway, just good stuff to come. Two important announcements. I want to make sure we've got a little bit. Here's Niall. Great. Niall.
That's Carrie. Thanks.
Carrie.
Thanks, Carrie.
Oh,
It's getting shorter and shorter.
is it Niall?
Neil.
That's
her husband.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's Carrie.
Hi, Carrie. Glad to have you on board with us. Two big announcements. First of all, today at 1 o'clock, Idaho Pizza Company, Fairview Avenue, here in Meridian.
Yep.
Come and join us. We're going to eat some food.
Across from Express Cafe, kind of.
It is, yeah.
Oh.
Right down there. It's really easy to find. Don't try and park in front of the building. You can park in the lot next door. Easy peasy. And
squeezy.
we're just going to spend some time together, like in person, like sharing conversation, kind of like we do here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only
No
more.
cameras. No cameras. Like we're not going to record it or anything. It's all good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
Yeah.
And the second announcement is about Fall Retreat. Okay? We are overhauling Fall Retreat in a big way.
Big.
The registration page is currently offline
Correct.
so that you're not paying for something that might change.
Yep.
So I know you're like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Don't be like
Can't.
that.
Can't tell
Yeah.
you more.
We will have more information for you within a week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Right? And if you're at lunch today, we'll share some conversation about what's going on. But just know, we're planning a great fall retreat. It might look a little bit different than what we've already announced.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's
All right.
okay. We'll still have a blast.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yep.
All right, so there's that. So then we jump, look at this. It is 4 minutes after. And we're already...
We usually carry on for about 10 minutes, so.
10 or 12 minutes,
This
usually
is-
11 after is our mark that
Yeah.
I'm like, we should really talk about what we're doing. Or about quarter after when Kim says, can you get to the topic, please? Somebody has to keep our feet to the fire.
Yeah. I'm glad it's.
Keep us on
I'm
track.
glad, I'm glad Kim does that, because otherwise we could be yakking about it.
Well, sometimes we have a lot to say.
True.
Yeah.
You know, and it's weird because we came in here today and you said, I got two announcements, and I'm like, yep. and then I'm starting to think, and I couldn't think any, you couldn't think any, so
Nope.
it's kind of weird. We are kind of caught up. It's nice. I mean, it's summertime.
Whoa.
Well, not caught up.
We are kind of caught up.
Yeah.
What does Carrie say?
But
What did Carrie say? Can non-members go to retreat, i.e. my dad? Stand by.
yeah.
We will have more information about retreat within the next week.
I love Carrie's dad. He went shooting the wild horses with us one time.
Mhm.
He's a photographer, and he's been a photographer for a long time. Really cool.
Sounds like a good guy to have around.
Yeah.
Yep. We don't have to lay an answer down
No.
About what?
about whether her dad can go to retreat.
No, we're going to have more information in a week, and
Yeah.
that's
More
about all we
information.
can say right
you
now.
can kind of plan on next Friday, us outing
Yeah.
the
next,
new.
next Friday, instead of talking for 4
Yeah.
minutes, we'll talk for like 20 to start the show.
That could happen. That could happen. So here's what I want to ask, folks. We've added Kim to our hosting team for the lives, and coming.
Is this a permanent thing?
I didn't tell you that.
No.
I kind of love having you here.
Surprise.
It's fun, actually.
Surprise.
Do you like it too?
Having you here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes
So
the
that's
pressure
what I
off of
wanted
me.
to ask
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
I want to. So Larry, can you step
wanna
in a little bit?
see
You're a
me
little bit off track
Stay
there.
or
There we
go?
go.
Is that what you're gonna ask?
No, I just
You want her to
I
stay or
just
go?
want feedback on what you think of having a 3 team of hosts to do this, and then we know going into the fall,
It's going to be a 2-team of hosts.
it's going to be off and on.
Yeah.
Different groups, combinations of us. Maybe bring Jen in. Maybe bring Sam in if he's willing, and just kind of roll forward with it. But I think I think having female perspective.
Well, she's much better looking than both of us put together. So there's that.
Well, in typical photographer fashion, I'm like, Kim, this light is really fantastic
Yeah.
on you. And on me, it's just kind of like, woo, shiny on the head, whatever.
On me, I've just
It's a
blown
little
out.
hot on you.
Yeah.
It's that silver hair.
Which is distinguished, by the way.
Yes,
so
it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it.
Looks
Yeah,
good.
I'm way.
It's either that or I'll shave it off like yours, and no.
So the only thing you have to do to fit in is grow the goatee.
I don't think so.
No? Laquita says, love, love, love it. And Laquita, I'm with you on that. I'm just loving having our sister here presenting with us and
fun.
talking through some of these things. And it's just a cool opportunity, I think, from my perspective, to get to know you a little better and just hear who you are and what you have to contribute. And
Well, it's cool because it really isn't the Bob and Larry show. That's not.
That wasn't the intent.
Yeah, so it's very cool because I can see us rotating, all 5 of the board members around and not having to. Yeah, to be quite honest,
You know what?
every single Friday is kind of tough sometimes.
Yes,
Yeah.
So
it is.
Sure.
it just-
Because it starts
that's
on
just-
Wednesday for me.
Yeah.
Actually, it starts on Monday.
And I'm just being honest here. I'm not.
No, it's good.
I'm not trying to say it sucks, but
Yeah.
it's not.
It's work.
It's work.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
It's work.
So-
Yeah.
I actually had this cool vision the other day of me running the gear while somebody else was carrying the show.
Oh.
Except I'd have to have a mic because there's no way I can keep my mouth shut.
We could put Bob in a soundproof booth, and he could be in there talking away as much as he wanted to.
That's so funny.
Carrie's enjoying having you here. She says, awesome. Love having Kim there.
Thanks, Carrie.
We're loving it too here at RN. So with that, I think we'll drop into our conversation.
Good plan.
I'm happy to have you here.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Good stuff.
Yep.
So then, the next thing that we're going to go into is this shots fired concept. And in simple form, and I think this was a meme that rolled across my desk in one of my groups, a shot never taken is always a miss.
Always.
And that applies well to my background, and but it affects every element of what we do. And so I'm going to start with talking about my 8-year-old, if that's okay.
Sure.
So my 8-year-old has been playing soccer for probably 4 years now. He's almost 9. And he scored last game of his season that just ended a month or 2 ago. Last game of his season, he scored 3 goals back to back to back. And I'm like, what changed? They were his first 3 ever. And he scored them, he just hammered them home. And I'm like, what changed? And he just said, well, coach said if I don't shoot the ball, I can't score.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, me too.
It stuck with him. So last night, I was coaching my volleyball team, and they're like 13 to 15-year-olds, boys and girls. And I was telling them, look, you have to play everything. Everything that you think is within the realm of playability, you have to play it. Because if you let that ball drop, chances are it's going to be a point against you. They play rally scoring. Have you heard that? Mm-hmm. Everything counts. So we watched the opposing team last night time after time after time, 6 or 8 times in a 45-minute period, watch the ball drop inbounds.
Ooh.
On the line,
Yeah.
but on the line is inbounds.
Yes, it is.
And I said to my team, I'm like, look, you're watching them do this.
Yeah.
And each one of you are snickering to yourselves, but yet you're prone to doing it too. So if you don't play that ball, chances are it's going to be a point against you. If you don't play that ball, you never have a chance
Right.
to make that point back, right? So my 8-year-old is helping me with my team. He's chasing balls, and he's like scoring soccer. I'm like, yeah. So
Yeah.
he totally gets this concept that
Yep.
if you don't try,
Yeah.
you stand no chance of succeeding.
Exactly.
So what do you think? How does this play into our marketing, our branding? I've got a story about how this plays into the money, the bidding, the pricing, the structure. What do you think?
You just said it all. I mean, I can't tell you how many times my brand's changed. You know, and same with marketing. Although my marketing is mostly word of mouth, so I don't do a lot of like advertising. Although I've tried it. I've tried some of that stuff, like the golf magazines and the Knot and the Wedding Wire and all that stuff, and what a waste of time.
Yeah.
So I've tried all that stuff, and you know what? That was my philosophy in trying that stuff. Because yeah, it's like everybody else. I go out and I read reviews. I'm like, the Knot, don't waste your money on it. It doesn't do squat. And to be quite honest, on the Wedding Wire and the Knot, if you don't pay big money to get to the first page,
Yeah.
you probably
It's
won't.
a lot like Yelp for the restaurant
Yeah,
industry.
yeah.
If they don't pay to play, they only show the bad reviews.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what happens on the Knot and Wedding Wire is, yeah, you get on a page, but as we all know, it's just exactly like a website, right? Because it is a website.
Yeah.
And if you're not on the first page or the second page, you're probably going to get lost
Yeah.
somewhere. So, did I pop up under? I think under Boise's, I popped up on like the second or third page one time. I still didn't get. You know,
Yeah.
you just, and I think that was 4 years ago. I was just busier than hell. I think I did something like 20 weddings in that year, and I got enough reviews that it jacked me up into the thing. But the next year, it didn't add anything to what.
But you tried it.
I tried it.
Yeah.
And the same with the Wedding Wire, and like I said, that golf magazine. I thought that was going to be a win. Banbury, I know, gave these out, and I think Quail Hollow and some others gave it out. It's a little. It looks like about a 5x7 booklet, and it's full of ads, and then of course they're advertising their venue, blah blah blah. So I went down to Banbury and I shot their venue and gave them images. Actually, I shot a wedding there, got permission from the bride and groom, gave Banbury some images to use in that book, and in exchange, it's kind of like buying a used car. I got a story about that, but I can't tell it on air. So, yeah. In exchange, I got the advertising for a half price, and I did get not a double truck, but a full page.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that part's good.
Yeah.
And then I know that, I don't know, 1,000 or 2,000 of those little booklets were handed out, or they kept them in their clubhouse and stuff. Zippo. I got nothing out of
Yeah.
it.
But at
So-
least you tried.
So
and that's the point. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you got to. And my brand, I mean, you've seen the LFP. It took me a long time. Doesn't that stupid? A brand, right? It's your
Yeah.
name, usually.
Yeah.
And
Well-
it takes a while to get everything just the way you want
Font,
it. Well, and
yeah.
the way you want it to be.
Yeah.
And I don't want to show you my old stuff, but you should have
Yeah.
seen it. Whoa.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
I've liked
good.
my
Yeah.
stuff most of the time, but when it comes, so this kind of leads off course just a little bit, but when it comes to my branding, I realized that it's me they're hiring.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not your brand.
So I'm Bob Ryder.
You're
Yeah.
not into
But
Right.
in the same token, you don't want that Bob Ryder to be in some weird font that you don't want it to
Nope.
be a.
It's got to be legible.
Exactly. Well,
'Cause I'm
and
gonna
it has to
stick
be,
my-
and you've got a, and I'm looking right on your shirt here.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah,
got
my signature.
you've got a legible, nicely written script that you can read and all that kind of stuff. You know, and for every one of us, it's different. That's what you want to present.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
And so
that's
my
what I realize is-
Yeah.
my early attempts, my tries sucked. So just to let you know, and yours are too. Don't worry about it. This is in my opinion, unless you pay a marketing person or you pay a brander to do it, and you pay them big money, your first attempt or second attempt or third attempt or ninth attempt is probably going to suck.
Yeah.
So
Well, and you know, one of the things that we do as creatives is I need to rework my brand.
Right.
And the reality is, you probably don't.
Yeah.
You probably need to work on getting that brand
Yeah.
out there more.
Yeah.
One of the
Yeah.
So I guess this plays into this shots fired thing a little bit. My wife jokes with me, prods with me a little bit, because I can give out a business card in the store in the grocery line, because I love to talk to people, and a great way to give out your business card is to ask somebody else what they do. Hey, what do you do, man?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I do this. I do geothermal research. I've got a friend who's a fracker. Okay, what do you do? Well, I do this. Man, that's really interesting. You know what the next question from them is?
what do you do?
What do you do?
Yeah.
Oh, man, let me tell you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I figured with you it'd be, let me introduce you to professional photography, Mr. Bob, quick.
But for me, that's
Yeah.
I will always give out business cards.
Yeah.
I was at DMV the other day, registering my new travel trailer, and met a guy who's also a retired cop from California, and did the business card thing. And it's just about, for me, being conversational, and if I have that opportunity, maybe if I create that opportunity to get that business card into their hand, that's my shot fired.
Yeah. Well, it's-
Right?
My shot fireds are not shooting straight at all. I am missing out on a lot because I only do marketing advertising when I'm ready for a show, and then I'll get 100 people show up. I mean, I'm missing out on a lot of people by not doing that throughout the whole year.
And what you do is truly unique, because you do prints for businesses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Boy, oh boy, do I have
could be
ideas.
doing more, Kimberly.
Boy, oh boy, do I have ideas. Because you know what? One of the reasons that I landed in my niche is because there aren't a lot of people
Right.
in my niche. And frankly, I'm friends with the other folks in our area that are. I got another referral last week from another headshot photographer here in Boise. In fact, she's fed me thousands of dollars worth of work this year.
Awesome.
I've always reached out to her. I always say thank you. She's a great person. I'll buy her lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's come back to this. You
Yeah,
know, the thing with marketing, that's a whole week-long topic. We could
yeah.
really camp on it.
well,
but
there's so much to marketing. I mean,
there is. And
we could
so
do
this
a
is
year.
just the surface of what are you doing to try?
But I think
Right.
on your marketing topic, your best point was, and I do this also, not to toot my own horn, but I always carry business cards with me.
Yeah.
I'm like you.
good.
You never know. So shots fired. You never know. Bob's in the DMV, has no idea who this guy is. Starts talking. All of a sudden, business cards come out, and possible transaction, which is green merits, come right back at you.
Yeah.
So if he didn't, and that's another thing too, is if you didn't try to talk to people, if you don't try that,
Yeah.
you're missing, Kim.
Yes.
You're missing out on. You're missing out on opportunities.
Yes.
Because I just said that my business literally was word of mouth.
Yeah.
I very rarely had to. I think I got maybe 10 to 15% off of my website. That's it, and they were just and that's it. That website stuff's kind of a vicious business. We've already pummeled that to death. You got to be the first to respond. You got to do it quick.
and Sam
all
talks a
this
lot
stuff.
about the metrics. He's been talking a lot about metrics lately.
Right.
And that's all. There's all parts of stuff that we have to do as solopreneurs, right?
So we'll throw Sam's name out there because we just did. So Sam does a podcast or a broadcast called Seven Figure Photographer, and if you haven't checked it out, you should. He's on Facebook, I believe, right?
Yeah.
YouTube?
Is he on YouTube?
Tuesdays, I
YouTube.
think.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
YouTube too.
So that's a plug for
He's
Sam.
multicasting, and we haven't gotten to that point with our broadcast yet.
Well, that's all right.
I just want it to work when it's supposed to, right?
Yeah, done is better than perfect.
So that's it for marketing. So the next thing, let's talk about bidding jobs.
Yeah, jeez.
Okay, but I want this to relate specifically to our shots fired. I'm gonna pop that up there. I want you to understand that what I'm going to talk about for bidding the job relates specifically to you must try.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
I'm going to admonish you. I'm going to just, the caveat here is their budget, their low budget, isn't your starting point for your quote.
Correct.
So there are a lot of things. I think next week we're going to do the danger. Is that our topic for next week?
Yep.
Danger, and it's going to talk about the red flag warning signs when dealing with a client.
Oh, right.
You know,
Yep.
that client who just constantly asks for more and more and more and more and more, or constantly asks for tweaks on your edits, or constantly wants, anyway, we're going to do a whole live on it next week because it's a really good topic.
We could do like 4 lives on it.
We probably could.
Yeah, so.
But coming back to this bidding thing, I'm just going to say, your bids need to be in keeping with a policy you've already established so that you can quantitatively provide them with something you've already thought through. Okay, now I bid companies, a lot of times when a company comes to me and they want to do headshots, there's a lot of information I need to get to figure out which way we're going to price that. But once I know which way we're going, that pricing's already established. Now, if the client comes to me after I've given the bid and says, that's a little over the top, this is more of what we had in mind, I can come back, assess it, discuss it, and see if that's something we can meet. But the tendency is, I'm going to rephrase that, my tendency is to figure out that they don't have enough money to spend to do it the way I would have them do it. So I'm going to bid something else. I'm going to bid lower, or I'm going to figure that their budget is tight. Or sometimes they start with, hey, we just need a really simple, shut up.
Yeah.
If it was really simple, you'd do it yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That goes into next week. Danger,
Yeah.
next week. So for me, to circumvent having that problem of always wanting to be affordable to them, we have established our prices ahead of time, and I just need to figure out what they're asking for, and then I give them the full bid. I give them the bid at full price. Guess what? I got that referral last week. It was for a company out of state I'm dealing with, based on the language she was using with me. I talked about it. That's the lighting diagram she sent me laying over on my workbench, right? Based on what she was telling me, they'd already shot plates. They're ready for these images. They need this guy here done locally. And I gave her my price for a single headshot, camera ready deal that we do. And she's like, well, that's not enough. We're going to pay you this.
Wow.
Carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. They were that client that isn't in it doesn't fit one of my, this is what I charge the guy who needs a headshot and comes in ready to take a picture, right? We might shoot 4 frames, he's out the door 5 minutes, we're good. Make money. Or I've got that person that comes in for a couple of hours and they're here and we create artwork and we do the thing. I've got those people, and then I've got my volume people. This was somewhere in between. I'm like, well, I'm going to give her this price. And they're like, yeah, we're going to pay you more. Okay.
It's awesome.
And I always know if they say, do you take Amex? They can afford me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's those little
Right.
cues. So my point with bidding is bid where you want or need to be.
Yeah.
Don't lowball. And if you've ever been told, we expected to pay more.
Yeah.
Raise your prices, because
Right.
you're. My wife is probably the worst one for this. Is that she tells me all the time, "Well, I wouldn't pay you that much." Well, of course not. So, just like Bob said,
Yeah.
their expectations are probably a lot higher than yours are, and you don't value your work enough to raise your prices where they need to be. And we've been over this ad nauseum.
A few times,
So
yeah.
we're not going to go into this again. But in a bidding situation, bid your worth. Don't back off. Just because you're bidding against other people doesn't mean you're Walmart.
Yeah.
Right. You don't want to give them a low bid just so you get it, and then they think you're probably
I was asked to bid a job for later in the year. Last week I got a call from somebody I've done work with. We have a relationship. I've paid them and they've paid me. That's a good relationship, right?
Yeah.
That's the best kind.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
We both value what each other does. So I got a call, and their client is asking for a photographer for a thing, and he outlined what the client has requested, and then he said, but I think they're going to want more than that in the end. So give me the price for that and give me the price for the whole thing. And then he says, and just so you know, we have to take 3 bids on this. I just start out with, just so you know, I'm not going to be your low price.
Yeah.
If that's what they're shopping for, that's not hit. He goes, no. I want to hire you for this, but I have to get these other bids. He goes, I just have to be able to demonstrate why we hired you instead of the lower price.
Right.
I'm like, great. He already knows my worth. I said, if they need references, he goes, I am your reference. Right. So that's great stuff, right? So I'm going to be this where I need to be.
And where Kim and I are concerned, though, we're a little different, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot different that when you're out bidding against the wannabes, right? And I want to be a wedding photographer, and I got a really nice camera now. Yeah. So Bob will be right back. So we're in a different scenario because you can't. I just don't lower my price. That's all. I might.
I didn't either.
I might give them an incentive, but that's entirely on me, and it's no more than $400 or $500.
Right.
I just don't do it.
Right. And if I'm dealing with an office and they're ordering 14 large canvases, I'll probably give them a break at the end if they say something. But if they don't say something, I don't do that.
Yeah.
But like with that one wedding, she wanted me to shoot, and I told her what my prices normally are. Tell me what you're looking for, and she already just said, I think we're going to hire a friend, without even knowing what I would have charged her for a small wedding.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
It is okay.
Like, bye-bye.
It is okay because
I just got by the way, last weekend I just got my first job as a location art maker. What I wanted to do at the bridal session.
You did.
I did.
Oh,
I was just pumped about that.
That's
So
awesome.
that's awesome, dude.
Everett,
you are
Washington,
creating your market.
Everett, Washington. I'm going to go attend their wedding. I'll be there. I might even second shoot for the guy that's shooting it. I don't know. But what her specific request was, we want you to create wall art. And I said, before or after the wedding, she says, we don't care. We'll pick up, I said, where'd you meet? We went through all that stuff. Where do you propose? All that debris. And I said, just make sure and hang on to your tux and your dress and don't trash it at the wedding. If you want to do a trash the dress, I'd be happy to shoot that for you too. So anyway.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty jacked about that because there is shots fired right there.
It is.
It's
Totally.
It's like if I hadn't asked, that probably wouldn't. I don't know if it would have. They know me.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Ask the
Huge.
question.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that sums up that's all you needed to hear today. Ask the question. We'll see you next. No, I'm kidding. Laquita did ask a question about the retreat, and we're not saying.
Sorry, Laquita.
Honestly, I'm just gonna say this. We need a little time to regroup and understand some things that have happened.
Just a group.
Yeah, just a group. We just need to take a little time to better define what's going on. So. Stand by. We'll have a lot more information for you next week. I promise.
It won't be disappointing.
No, not at all.
At all.
So I think this next one you've got a valid point for. Okay.
Yeah.
This is shots fired. The shot never taken is always a miss. And this applies. So we've covered marketing and we've covered bidding. And now I want to say, take that shot.
Oh my gosh.
So tell us.
So there's a shot that I wanted to take 14 years ago, and I'm still mad at myself for not taking it. Still to this day. And I can't go back and get it, ever. It was in Alaska. There was an airplane that had landed and pulled up to a gas pump, and it was beautiful scenery in the background, this Piper Cub airplane at a gas pump, It sounds kind of crazy maybe to some people to why would she want that shot, but that is such a classic Alaska shot. And I didn't tell my husband, hey, let's pull over, because I'd been telling him to pull over for the last hour, and I felt bad. and now I'm mad at him for 14 years. No, I'm mad at myself that I did not get that shot, and I'll never get it. So I should have pulled over, even if it didn't work.
Did you read the notes on this? You should read that out loud.
Shooting. Oh, try that concept. Take that shot. You may never have the opportunity again. Yeah, hi, that's me.
Did you tell them that?
Yeah.
You may never have that
the
opportunity
again.
Try
Ever.
the concept.
Yes.
Modify the lighting.
Yes.
Take the shot. Whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
You know, you just said something. So take that shot or shots fired. And we talk about this a lot, but I don't think this should be dismissed. And you just said it. Modify the lighting. I can't tell you how many times I've been out and wanted to go back you have, not to a location,
right,
but maybe I'm shooting a model and I'm God, this would look great this way, but I'm busy.
Yeah.
And then that time passes. Now the model, they go away, you go away.
They're 30 years older. Doesn't work anymore.
Maybe not that, but for example, that at Wendover, that smoke we had in the air.
Oh yes.
I didn't shoot it enough ways. That's kind of shots fired. I didn't shoot it enough ways, and you guys have to kind of think about that when you're working on a portfolio or you're trying to do some stuff, because if you'd be surprised at my initial. All you guys do this. You see stuff in your mind's eye, right?
Yes.
You go out there and you're going, oh God, I gotta get that. I gotta get that, and you go out there and you get that. Turn around, do it. I mean, and it goes back to that story. But you have to look at things in multiple angles, multiple views. Again, will I ever see that smoky sky in Wendover or it's on Salt Flats ever again? No.
I was talking to a guy wearing a Bonneville Salt Flats shirt.
Unless we fly our airplane and park it there and I set it up. But
well, there's
that could work.
That could work.
Pilot
but
husband.
no,
Do
not that.
you fly?
I have hours, but I'm afraid to solo by myself. I can land it if something happened to him.
Well, it's fine.
So,
flying is a
I don't think you want me up there. I'm directionally challenged on the ground. So.
What's that saying? Flying is the second greatest thrill known to man. Landing is the first.
It's the first. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about, shots fired. If you don't try, it's always a miss. If you don't try, there's no chance for success.
Right.
The next thing I want to talk about is networking.
Well, we already talked about it, kind of.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Talked about it?
Yeah.
We're going to do a little bit of this today. We're going to have lunch and just spend time being social.
I need to do better.
Folks, being social is networking. Okay, so now I'm not talking about that situation where you walk into a room with 30 desperate financial sales guys.
Or 30 different car salesmen.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Or 30 different insurance guys, or 30, and I don't mean to diminish those industries, but a lot of business networking can look a lot like that. Until you get into groups that only allow one of each type of business.
Right.
And then it can really flourish. Then you can really build or mortgage guys or real estate people or whatever, right? So anyway, But being networking, if you approach networking as being social and just establishing relationships, it's easier.
Right.
Than I'm going to go and sell somebody my business concept.
It's hard. Both of those items are hard to do for introverts.
I realize that. I realize that.
That's my whole problem. I'm an introvert.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know.
Imagine 2 introverts and an extrovert doing a live broadcast.
And I had a networking, here's a networking miss. I had a friend say, Kim, I just got out of this dental office. He's a guy we went to high school with, and his artwork is terrible. You need to call him. Did I? No.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't, because I'm shy, and I felt bad. I'm like, he's not gonna. And that's
I
dumb. People don't do that.
I want to shift your logic for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
This ought to be good.
Well, it is. So I'm going to slow down for a minute, because if they're not tuned in, I want them to pay attention for a minute, because this is kind of big. We approach talking about our business and what we do as selling what we do. In reality, if you change that logic from I'm trying to sell them what I do to I'm trying to provide them an opportunity that they might not otherwise have. Okay? If his customer comes to you and says, this guy's artwork is awful, you need to call him. You better damn well call him.
Yeah, guess what? I'm going to do that.
You need to.
There's 2 people on my list, and I'm going to do that by our next live.
Great. I'm going to hold you accountable for it.
I said it live. I'm going to have to.
You're going to have to.
I'm going to do it.
So this is
me out of my box.
super big. Okay? I've just discovered a new mechanism for providing headshots for businesses. Some of the organizations that I've talked to for a long time about doing headshots are reluctant to pull the trigger because the boss knows they have attrition. And the boss doesn't want to pay for a headshot that guy's going to take to the next marketing or the next financial firm or the next mortgage broker or whatever. So now I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's pick a time for us to come in. We'll set up our studio at your place, and anybody that wants to come in and buy a headshot can buy a headshot for $100. They're like, $100? That's a great price. And I'm like, yeah, it's a third of what I normally charge. They're like, wow, that's a really good deal. I'm like, yeah, and you're off the hook because they're going to pay for it themselves.
Right.
Like, see that barcode over there, QR code says Venmo at the top? They can literally just blip it with their phone and pay me. It's like, really? This is working.
Is it?
This is working.
That's like
That's a good
mini
idea.
session.
So you go and you do 7
that's
to
a
10.
great idea.
It is a lot like the concept of mini sessions. Is doing what we would normally do for the client.
Right.
But instead of one client, I have several. And the neatest thing has happened. We just did this 2 weeks ago for a financial firm here in Meridian. And they had 7 committed. We finished with 10 for the day. I've got 2 studio sessions followed up at twice the price.
Wow. That's great.
Great.
And they'll always come back to you.
So this is me.
Because you do a good job.
I was at a networking event recently, and there's a guy there. He's a mortgage guy, and I know he's just moved to a new office. Their office is being built and everything. I said, hey man, introduce me to your boss. I've got this concept I want to play. He's like, well, what is it? And I shared that concept with him. He's like, that's a great idea. So this is just me trying something new, but instead of having this new thing and putting it on my shelf because it's my new thing, I have to talk about it if I want to sell it.
Right.
Okay? But I'm not going to talk about it because I want to sell it. I'm going to talk about it because they need it. This boss who's been on the fence for 3 or 4 years is like, dude, thank you so much for fixing this for me. These people all need headshots, but I'm not paying for them.
Right.
So anyway,
Awesome.
that's working, right?
Great.
It's just taking this concept of if you don't try, you can't succeed.
Totally.
And it's just trying.
Yes.
And I found something new. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the cookie.
Yeah, what's cookie?
The cookie.
Do you have any?
Okay.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Do you like chocolate chip cookies?
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like chocolate? You look like you'd be an oatmeal raisin girl.
You would be wrong.
Okay. So, but that is the essence of this. So my wife, years ago, she spent 10 years doing Stampin' Up. You know Stampin' Up?
Yes, I love Stampin'
She was
Up.
a Stampin' Up demonstrator for 10 years. She did conventions all over the United States. One of the speakers talked about this chocolate chip cookie concept. I make chocolate chip cookies, and then I take my bags of cookies, and I'm like, she looks like she wouldn't like a chocolate chip cookie. So I don't even ask her if she wants a cookie.
Yeah.
Freaking everybody wants a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, that's staple.
Right?
Yeah.
So she shared that with me. It was profound to her then. It's profound to me now.
Yep.
Okay? This is taking something from outside our industry, folks, and applying it to inside our industry. If you don't offer it, they can't say yes
or no. Right.
All right.
Yep. Good lesson for Kim.
I was on. I've soundly thrashed Kim on set today.
We used to have 3 hosts on the show.
Let me put that up.
Fridays.
Should I put a line through that?
Yeah. No.
They fired Bob. Bob's going away. Anyway, so Jen is on. She says, love seeing Kim on the show again. Great conversation, everyone. See you all at lunch today. I am so stoked on that. Laquita, I have to ask you, because I see your question here. I can't answer that right now, but if you're not coming to lunch today, call me later and we'll have a chat, okay? There's that. She asked an important question.
Yep.
She has...
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, we'll leave that there.
Yep.
So, man, I'm super happy to have had that conversation about networking, about the chocolate chip cookie.
Oh, good.
Like if you, whatever you offer,
Yes.
if you don't share it with
Yeah.
people, they don't even have an opportunity to say no.
Right.
So and a lot of people go out. I'm sorry, didn't mean to
That's
cut
okay.
you. A lot of people go out and they say, well, like for you, for example, I'm a professional headshot photographer, but this is the first time I've ever heard you say about a mini session within the shoot, which makes total sense. Now, I'm an ex-wedding photographer trying to get out of it.
But it's
Who still wants? You're an ex-wedding photographer who still wants to photograph brides.
Well,
Make
because-
sense of that one, universe.
Because there's money involved. But I've done some commercial stuff. So where I'm going with this is your chocolate chip cookie thing. If you don't have something to show them, now would you like, I don't need a headshot. We got some products over here. I can hear that. I can hear that in a conversation. Oh, let me show you that portfolio.
Yeah.
If you don't pry into that and ask, there's no chance you'll ever get to do whatever it is you're trying to do, which all of us are trying to make a living at this.
Right.
Somebody recently was looking for some imaging, some product imaging for their business, and somebody flagged me in that conversation, and I responded with, all we do is imaging for business. Okay?
Right.
Yes, we concentrate on headshots. That is our main deal.
Yep.
But we also do other business-related imaging,
Right.
whether it's be corporate events or whether it be product photography or whether it's facility. I love to say I photograph big things, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
honestly, when you're photographing something, a piece of equipment that's 3 stories high, that's pretty damn cool.
It is really
right? I
cool.
really enjoy that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't walk up to the average guy in the store and be like, hey, I photograph big things. Let me show you something right now. Oh boy, there's that rabbit hole again. I can see it from here.
Bob Ryder at hello@bobryder.com.
But you're right, like if you don't,
Yeah.
so I think we're
Yeah.
going to have a portfolio discussion as well. Or did we have that a couple weeks ago?
We had that a couple
We
weeks
did
ago,
have it a
yeah.
couple weeks ago.
It doesn't mean that you don't have to go out there and start shooting everything just to
Right.
show everything. But
No.
I have several different things I can show people if
Yeah.
they ask, or if I ask them. I can't imagine anybody that wants to have me shoot a bridal session, but I can now with portraits.
Yeah.
We're not going to have a bridal session, but we'd sure like to have a portrait of our family. I got a senior graduating, whatever.
Sure.
You need to be, if you don't ask those questions, and if they don't like chocolate chip cookies and
Right.
like oatmeal raisin, you better have some oatmeal raisin in your resume.
Right.
So.
And if they don't like chocolate chip cookies, but they know somebody else that does, they're
Right.
going to give you their name.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so we've done with our punch list,
Yeah.
right? We
Did
got
you
it.
have a point?
That was kind of my point.
Okay.
Say it again.
That if they don't want your chocolate chip cookie, they may know somebody else that does.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, and
all the time.
yeah, and that can
All the
apply
time.
for
Yeah.
definitely everything about everything.
I'm going to say this: the more conversation you have about who you are and what you do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
anywhere, soccer practice, mom communities, play dates, grocery store, Costco,
It doesn't matter what it is.
DMV.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The more conversations you have about what you do,
Yeah.
the more shots you have the ability to fire, right?
And
Yeah.
get yourself some business cards and carry them with you.
Okay, so
I always forget them.
can
so
we
that's-
talk business cards for a second?
Great.
This is totally off topic
Moo.
and totally on point. Okay, there's this thing in the world right now where people think you don't need business cards because everything's digital.
That's
Oh,
crap.
I don't think
It
that's
is
true.
It is
Yeah.
not true.
No.
Listen, folks.
No.
We are in the tangible, visual
Yeah.
industry. If you don't hand them something
Yeah.
that's tactile while you're talking to them, that
Right.
they then have to process where to put it. If it's nice, they're going to keep it.
Yep.
If it's something cheap, they're going to toss it.
Yep.
I get so many compliments on my business card. I enjoy handing them to people because they go, wow, this is cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, you see that thin blue line? Mm-hmm. Right? It means something to me, right?
Yeah.
So make your business cards meaningful. And I'm here to say, don't put a stupid picture on your business card.
No.
Don't put a piece of your work on your card because it pigeonholes you
Yeah, it's
to
true.
just that. Say what you do,
Yep.
keep it elegant and simple and high quality. I pay about 50 cents a piece for my business cards, and
Yeah.
every single one of those is worth it.
Yeah. Mine doesn't even say what I do because it just says K Minter Photo or Kimberly Minter Photography. I I mean, that's what I...
Says what you do.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
If you
I
were
see what you're saying.
something,
It doesn't
if you
say
were something
Kimberly
like
does this.
Time Untold, and you handed that to
Yeah.
somebody, and they're like,
What's
"How's that?"
Well, they won't
Yeah.
say it. They won't say it right then.
No.
They're
No.
going to say it when they're going to do their laundry, and they pull that
And they
thing
put it
out,
in
and
the
they go,
garbage.
Like,
they go,
who-
what the
what is
time,
this?
whatever,
Yeah.
gone.
Right.
True.
So,
So business cards are absolutely relevant in today's community. It gives you something tangible.
Yes.
Maybe we'll say it this way. We are back to business cards being
It's going back.
super important
I agree.
in our industry. It is.
Yeah.
We are coming back
Yeah.
to people wanting to shoot film because it's tangible.
Old school's
we are,
coming back.
It is. So
Yeah.
what's old
Bell
is new
bottoms.
again, right?
Bell bottoms.
I love bell bottoms.
I love my business cards, and I should hand them out more because I love them.
I love my bell bottoms.
Oh, you do? Got your boom box up on your shoulder.
No, it
Disco.
was pre that. There weren't any boom boxes back then.
Your 8-track in your wallet.
Maybe
wait.
they track in the car.
Wait.
Yeah.
So I listened to a lot of Queen from the 80s, and they are having the 40th anniversary of their greatest hits release, and they are releasing a special, a green cassette
Oh, really?
Nice.
with their
That's
greatest
cool.
hits. Oh, it's so cool!
Yeah.
Cassette,
I
cassette
love
like
that.
an 8-track?
No, a cassette tape.
It's
A cassette tape.
It's a green cassette
Well,
tape commemorating.
find a cassette player.
I got one right there,
Sweet.
right there.
And you got a pencil if you need to rewind
If you need to
it.
rewind it back or a big pen. All right, we digress. It's
Yeah.
11:46. I want to drop into here for just a minute. I'm going to put this on screen. All right. Larry, this is you, brother.
Yeah, ppofidaho.com. Listen, we'd love to have you be a member. It's not that expensive, guys. It's $9.99 a month if you want to do that. We ask for a 12 months commitment on that. Or if you want to save some cash, Kim, $99 a year.
Yeah, $99 a year.
It's
Yeah.
easy.
That's right.
I'm going to tell you this. In the world of all these things that we're trying to figure out where to spend our money and what's important and marketing and analytics, and
Whatever.
you need a community
Yes.
of people that can lift you, edify you, challenge you,
Yep.
support you. You know what I really enjoyed from this last week was Gordon with a broken camera sent it to Nikon. They replaced his shutter box, they tuned his camera, they replaced a grip, they cleaned everything and sent it back to him. You know how much they charged him?
Zero.
Zero.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It was good customer service.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
They must have heard him thinking maybe I should jump to Canon.
Yeah. I think
Right?
so. I think that was a sign.
But
To jump.
that's
Canon.
great service. So anyway, that's just one of the things that I enjoy. I mentioned Gordon because
Yeah.
absent Professional Photographers of Idaho, absent being here with this group, I wouldn't know him, and he's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
All right.
I wouldn't know
So
you.
that's that. Right. That's
wouldn't
all
know
right.
you
So
guys.
that's all that.
Yeah.
We are
You'd be missing out.
we are your
We would be.
state's affiliate. Professional Photographers of Idaho is your state's affiliate of Professional Photographers of America. And then the last slide I'm going to hit real quick. If you're here watching us today, you know that we're on YouTube. We have a weekly live stream. You're going to see some events popping up here as well. Larry and I are still talking roadshow and going north, I think,
Yep.
sometime in the next month or two.
Yep. I hope.
And you're going to find photography education here. And you're going to see more of these things come along as this channel grows. But I'm happy to have you here. I want you to subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified when we have new content. All right?
Please
Yep.
do.
There's that. So then I'm going to come back to, I'm going to pop that down, pop that up, and we'll end with this slide up here. All right, folks, we'll see you at lunch in an hour at Idaho
Pizza Company.
Pizza Company over on Fairview Avenue in Meridian, and next week for our live with Danger Danger.
Ooh, can't
Right.
wait.
Can't wait.